Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. I need to sort out a bit of fuel. Yes, welcome everyone. We're here on the Mon Ultimate once again for our fifth penultimate round now of the oNiD OLMS series. Been an odd season. I want to make sure setup is correct. Yep. Alright, let's head on out. We are here at Spa this week for a special double points 90-minute race compared to the normal 65 minutes. We're here at Spa. We have the endurance pits, even though we don't have enough people to go over the normal GP pits, but we've got the endurance pits, so we've got this long pit exit to deal with. So, yeah, Spa, 90-minute race, variable weather. There is a good chance of rain later in the race in second half. It's going to be a bit of a wonder if we can one-stop this race. I go long enough into the race that we only... that we can pit straight onto wet tyres. But that really depends on when the rain comes down. So yeah, another difficult race at Monza. We were having a good recovery, so we were. After an early incident that we just couldn't do anything to avoid. But yeah, then we had a little issue on a curb. Ever so slightly. I mean, ever so slightly. It didn't look like it visually, but the hitbox obviously just clipping the geometry of the Lesbo 2 curb. And yeah, just didn't sell the carpet and put us into a spin, unfortunately. Kind of undoing a lot of the great work we'd done in that during that race. So Spa now. Track, we've had some good races here, especially the 100-minute race from SROL a few months ago now. Had that brilliant battle with Bailey in the final stint in the hypercars. So hopefully can have a battle that is just as good today. I doubt it a bit, but yeah, hopefully we can have another great battle here. As we get warmed up. Gotta be careful with that inside curb. If you cut it too much, it will unsell the cars you see there. You know, and that's the sort of snap that can bring an end to your race if you're unlucky. Will most likely ruin any chance of a good result. If you're really lucky, you'll get away with just tire damage. but just getting the car up, or the tires up to temperature. Don't lock a tire, don't want to flat spot any of them this stage of the session. A little luck as we're trying to turn in for the source. Not the greatest way to start the lap. Okay, another snap just as the car came down off the curb of Radeon. Maybe brake later for Lecom if I want to get brave. Sliding the car into pit on. That's not ideal. Very good on the brakes into the bus stop. Wasn't the best line through there. A little bit of locking into the source runs us a little bit deep. 6 tenths off provisional pole at the moment. Sitting in P4. Okay, a little more speed into Pillon, but a little less on the way out. Not being the greatest second half of the middle sector. Good exit from the bus stop. Provisional pull. More we're locking into T1. Maybe getting a little too aggressive with the brakes. Three more laps. Turned in too early. Yeah, there's a tenth or two in there. Still on pole by 21 thousandths now. Might have some more lap times come in. Improved by 1,000th. If that's not consistency, I don't know what is. The thing is, though, when it comes to qualifying, it's not about consistency. It's just about the fastest lap. Didn't get a change of direction too well there. That was not a good leg on. I think the front tires have just lost their peak. Front left lock up, not going to do any good there. Lost pole now by nearly a tenth and a half. Time that we certainly have in the lap, but I don't think we're going to be able to get. Front end not quite gripping as much in this lap. And there's a little bit of brake locking. Might as well practice a pit entry because I don't think our qualifying is going to improve any more than that. Let's see, fuel 3.45. As you can see, we're very early in the pit stalls. Yeah, we definitely had a potential pole lap on there. I just needed to get the lap all together in one lap. Like, I put the corners together just on two different laps. But yeah, that's not bad qualifying. The pace is there. Let's see. Oh, that's not gonna be a good lap. I haven't done the math yet. for this. 2 3s. So we're probably looking at 43 lap race at most. What was it? 3.45 on the fuel. Yeah, I didn't reset the tires yet. So 21, we can definitely extend that to 22 laps. What do we need for 23? Oh yeah, we can definitely get 23 laps. How about 24? Okay. And... okay. Fuel saving might be good here, depending on the weather. Yeah, some bigger gaps in qualifying. The good thing is, with the start, if we mess it up, like we did last week, it won't be as costly. Though I don't plan on messing it up as badly, but it won't be as costly either way. So yeah, just waiting now. Final cars, 31 here, 17 GT3s, 14 or 15 LMP2s, 32. Got that lap in? Oh yeah, up to P3. There's time in it. Yeah, I mean, I lost 2 tenths in no name, just turning in too early, and then just had me on a bad line that I then ran into the gravel with. But yeah, 2 tenths there, I mean, you put that into the lap and there. If I took out 2 laps of fuel, that would have helped too, because those final laps, the tires just weren't there anymore. Third lap. Yeah, third and fourth lap, I think, were where they were at their peak. The fifth, I think they dropped off a little. Yeah, I think it was the fifth lap that they started to drop off. You can see the rain, second half of the race as temperatures drop. Let's make sure we have new tires on. But yeah, outside 41 might be a blessing, might not be. We'll have to wait and see. Might be a blessing on the run up to the Camel Straight. Might be too far in front. I'm not too worried about taking the lead. I mean, if we can, if we end up in a good place for it, we'll take the lead. But I'm not going to go super aggressive for it. I'd rather slot into second than take a big risk for the lead.
Formation lap has started.
And this time we'll actually get the warning that, race is about to start, that you don't get in pole position. As you've seen, we are running on minimum wing. The default for CDA on this track is 5. Not CDA, sorry, the LMU setup I'm running. But yeah, the default setting is 5. I've turned down to 1. The only place it feels unstable is Radeon. Everywhere else it seems fine. Yeah, hopefully everyone is nice and sensible into T1. Pole sitter made an error there, and it's confused the thing. I hope I don't get a penalty for that.
Green flag, green flag.
Breaks into T1, didn't want to work. No, I just get punted. Thanks. Well, it was not a clean start. We don't have any suspension damage, so we've got away lightly. Why are you making this difficult, BMW? GT3s are good at the low speed on the brakes. They can also rely on the ABS. 11 seconds, the next car. Because we're doing the endurance layout, drive-throughs are painful. I mean, I fucked it too. I can't say it wasn't my own fault for being that wide to begin, that deep and wide to begin with. I mean, it also looked like from the moment I got turned around, it was 3 wide, potentially. So it was a case of whoever was on the outside was going to have nowhere to go with how wide I was. So I think it might have just been unfortunate circumstance for me making the mistake. The truth is, I should never have put myself in that place. Certainly not out of this race. I appreciate this fry just making it super clear what side they're going to be on. Part of me knows I should be lifting and coasting to just save a little bit of fuel, but there's a part of me that doesn't want to. We are saying fastest lap of the race. Or did say fastest lap of the race. Yeah, we're not going to win this race with just fastest laps. We need a bit of strategy. As we have a lot of cars to pass. Hopefully we have some straight line speed on them to help make those passes easy. Just making little mistakes. I'm not getting punished for them too badly, but just making the mistakes. Of course, don't know how much people in front are fuel saving. They could be fuel saving a lot more than I am. I'm kind of like doing a minimal saving fuel, but minimal fuel. That's one car done. Got a couple of GT3s that have had difficult starts. I mean, we've seen the chaos unfolded at Rouge and Radeon, and before that even. This could be annoying. With the car that we're coming up to pass having slipstream from the car in front of them, could just make this awkward and difficult. Bit annoying to have to take that tight line into the first corner though. It's gonna leave us too far back. I'm not sure if it would have been enough. We definitely would have got a lot more slipstream. And it might have been enough slipstream to have made a move. Now that could have been a nice easy move. But instead this car wants to hold us up. Close enough for slipstream here. I was going to get a run and I was going to have to lift in the middle of Blanchimont here. Ooh, a little bit of oversteers. We hop over the inside bit and they come together behind us. We're now up to P7. 7 seconds to the next car. Look how tight it is from first to sixth. That's, what, just over 5 seconds covering the top 6. We absolutely are not out of this. Someone's been deposited out of the battle and has decided to rejoin safely. Change for the lead. Half a second covers the top three. They're fighting. That's good for us. Right, come on, car, come on. I had to go for that. Luckily I was close enough, but if I couldn't have gone for that, I was going to lose so much time. Still fighting in front. That's all I could ask for. And they're about to hit the main GT3 field. I could have judged that better. GT3's dead here. I must admit there is a part of me that hates the fact that I can still win this race, potentially. That BMW isn't fond of opening corners up. Not great traffic here. was a little scared I wasn't going to stop there. Must admit. That wasn't as dicey. Please get the BMW. Just a little too far back to make the move into the long right-hander. Mercedes making it very clear which side they want. Appreciate it. I know what that McLaren was trying to do, is trying to just stick to one side and stay to it, which could have been helpful if Asgo go left. It can be like very awkward if you catch GT3 right as they would be right at that little right-hand kink, sometimes known as turn 5. Top 3 still within a second of one another. Hopefully they're still fighting. We're also clear of the GT3 traffic now. Current from making a lot of mistakes. Looks like they backed out, which I appreciate. Probably the best choice. Especially if they're looking to re-find a rhythm with the mistakes they've made. They did 206.4. That's a good lap at this point. They've got 1 second lead now. That's going to be them trying to now run away with the race. Just trying to save a little bit of extra fuel while we're stuck here. Getting on the inside curb wasn't beneficial for them. Little lock up. Not ideal. Don't think I hurt the tire too much though, so we'll go with that. That was a risky move. I was debating on backing out of it, but with how far to the right they were sticking, they were kind of like, just go for it. Take it and go. You know, I don't want to fight this too hard. Oh, they'll slip at the rear wheels there. Right, 6 seconds off P2. That's our target. P1 I think's gone. They did 5.4, which is genuinely a good lap at this stage of the race, with the tires getting a bit more worn, certainly past their peak. I mean, that Mercedes went off the track on their own accord. Looking like a 42 lap race at the moment. Lap car kindly getting out of our way. We were 1.5 seconds quicker than second place last lap. They tried to go side by side through a Rouge. They nearly were. That's bold. They were nose bumper to bumper for sure. Looks like they're fighting. They're holding each other up. Look at the leader. Leader's long gone. Unless there's some extreme heavy fuel saving going on up ahead, I think we're looking pretty good for P2. Fucking hell, BMW! Oh my goodness. That BMW just could not pick a side. Like, racing lines on the right-hand side. Oh, I'm gonna go left. So I'm like, right, I'll pass you on the right. And then they're like, oh, I'm gonna push you onto the right-hand side curb. Like, unpredictability of the highest regard. I'm on the cusp of a 23rd lap. Ooh, they're going. Really going at it here. I just cannot get to the inside there. That's easy. Easier than I thought it was going to be. Now I would like to run away. As they continue to fight. That's absolutely best case scenario for us. Catching them, passing both of them in the same lap, not losing too much time. You know, one pass and it was done. And running away so they don't have a chance to repass us. Does that BMW want to use any more carb? Oh, no. That's just a little too hard on the brakes. Oh well. I got 2.25 for that! You're joking me! The track limits on this game are so broken. How much time did that cost us? Oh, I don't even know because of the track limits. Maybe about 5 seconds. I don't know if that McLaren braked earlier this time to make it easier. I don't think they wanted to fight that too hard. They knew there's more to lose than gain in that fight. Could be a good test of the slipstream here. And they don't even gain that much. Nice lock. That did hurt the tire a little bit this time. But I don't think it's left a flat spot. I don't feel anything at least. I feel like my game's starting to stutter a little bit. Traffic has been kind to us. Peter in the gravel. Lapped car. Too far back this time. Car wanted to lock there. Oh, you're gonna let me through as well. Thank you. That would have been a risky move. I wouldn't have had enough overlap. Forecast says rain is on the way. That BMW is the worst. Okay, rain is imminent. But not close enough for us to stretch to it. Okay. Don't know exactly how far the rain is from here. Oh. They're gambling. So they're switching straight to wets, which, with how long the pit lane is, if the rain comes soon enough, might actually be a good play. The brakes didn't feel like anything happened. Maybe because they were cold. Of course, we're heavy with fuel, and the tires are worn. So grip is not going to be ideal. Whether we win this race or not is up to strategy. It's not McLaren again. Not the McLaren's fault. I just happened to catch them in that awkward place 2 times in a row. Not 2 times in a row, but... Well, yeah, technically 2 times in a row if you exclude the fact that... Of course, I never completed the first overtake. Yeah, the braking just feels so different at the moment. It's a lot worse than it was, and I wasn't expecting such a drop in performance. This kind of made me lose confidence in them, which isn't good when we need to be making as much time as possible on the wet runners right now. The rain might never come. It's not 100% chance of rain. And that would really benefit us. Evening, Geeky. It is getting darker though. Doing alright. Oh, the previous leader, first car on wets, has made a mistake. Been involved in an incident. Oh yeah, I will. Thing is, even if the rain does come down and we have to switch to wets, which in honesty there's a chance we don't. That's just worst timing possible. Two seconds lost, just like that. When we put on new wet tires, they're going to be in much better shape than the other wet runners, so we'll still be a bit faster. It's just whether we're able to make the time up. I want to say we'll lose like 80 seconds with a pit stop. Cowley, who was leading the race, and the first car to put wets on, has dropped down completely. That first mistake, a mistake has maybe given them damage or has completely ruined their tyres. And yeah, they've just dropped down the order. Repairing damage? Nah. Unfortunate. But that's risk of wet tyres. You know, it's not just a fact of, oh, will it rain? It's also like, you've got to drive with those wet tyres until it rains. Oh, it wasn't because of wet tires? Oh, unfortunate. The key to winning a race in this series is just have a clean race. You don't need to be the quickest. If you just have a clean race, you're automatically doing better than most of the quick people. I'm starting to think, oh, what would the situation be if we weren't spun around on lap 1? We'd be like 25 seconds up the road. Probably 30 with the fact we wouldn't have been in traffic. Even if we did have to switch to wet tires, we'd be in a really good spot at the moment. With every lap it doesn't rain, we're just closer to being in a, our position gets stronger and stronger. If the rain came down now, we'd still be in a good place for second. But even if it does start to rain later in this race, we might still be able to win it. It really depends how long it takes for the rain to come down. But every lap, it's not just us gaining time, it's also the tire wear kicking up for the wet runners. Those tires are definitely overheating by now. That Mercedes used a lot more road than I thought they were, or hoped they would. Remember, of course, once it starts raining, like, yeah, okay, it means that we're going to have to probably go onto the wets. But it's still going to take time for the track to become wet enough for wets. As I said earlier, those that are already on wets, their tires are just disintegrating at the moment. They're not going to be in good condition when that rain does come. Fuel not required. That's always a good sign. Don't even think we need to save fuel. Yeah, I still took on too much fuel. I don't need to be fuel saving at all. To be honest, I shouldn't be fuel saving. I should be burning it. If I save it, it's just going to be extra weight. And if it does rain, I'll need every second I can get. I just need to be careful if I start pushing now, not to push into a mistake. The tires are worn. The car has 2/3 of a fuel tank. if it does rain and it gets to a point where wet tires are preferred, I think I'm going to pit. Like, there's an argument of trying to stick it out on the slicks if it's really close to the end. But that's big risk. Such a risk. So easy to drop the car, and if you drop it at a place like Rouge and Radeon, the chances of your race being done and not even finishing are so high. I should do delta reset. Because currently it's set to a lap I did towards the start of the race with fresh tires. I'm not making that lap time again. That's a bad line through Rouge Radeon. GT3 making it very clear what side they're going to be on. Appreciate it. Someone's in the pits. They're putting on wet tires now. I wonder if they gambled. I wonder if they went like 50% fuel. I don't know if I was too tight there or if the fry ran up into me. Maybe a bit of both. Just glad that we both got away with it. Thank you, McLaren, for being very clear. Over a minute now, I have the first car with wets. We're getting to the point where if we pit, we'll still come out in front of them. "12 laps to go." Not ideal. Could be worse. I was a little bit worried that because we got held up through T1 that we weren't going to be close enough to pass the GT3 before a Rouge, and that would have cost us a lot. We could have been a little further up the route if I didn't put an extra 6 litres of fuel in, more than I needed. Yeah, we started with a 23 lap stint. There's only 19 laps left in the race. I took 6 litres for 2 laps worth out. But of course that leaves 21 instead of 19 laps. Doesn't look like this rain is going to come. I mean, there's still a chance it does. But it's not looking likely at the moment. The only advantage those already on the wets will have, if it does rain, is their wets will be up to temperature. But that's not a big benefit. And it's going to be vastly outweighed by the condition of their tyres. Yeah, that wet runner's about to drop to P8. Which is a shame, because if it rained when we were sort of suspecting it to rain, they would have been right in the money. It would have been a really good strategy. It's just, unfortunately, the weather gods have not blessed them. They were not on the good side of the weather god. Now they're more than 80 seconds back. There it is. Now we have a decision. I mean, I've got the lead. I don't have to make the first. I don't have to be the first to make a decision. I can wait and see what other people do and then react. I just need to set the pit strap. Thing is, I am also on one wing. So my car's not going to be the most stable. You can tell that GT3 is much slower than the rest of them. I don't think that's just a rain confidence. Maybe it is a little bit. One car's gone in. Too early. The track is still at saturated grip. It's not even damp. Okay, with how long the pit lane is, you could technically say you want to pit maybe a lap earlier. You know, you can be a little bit more preemptive because by the time you get to pit exit, you know, the track could have changed a lot more than it would have at a normal track. But you've got to wait for the track to at least go damp first. Cars behind has made a mistake. 19 seconds are lead. I'd say pressure's off, but in these conditions, pressure's never off. Track is damp now. One car's in. Still lap too early, I think. I'm not going to pit at the end of this lap. Because I don't need to. If other people pit, I'm concerned about, I'll pit at the end of next lap. But with the track being damp now, we definitely have to tone our the aggression in our driving down a little bit. That BMW going really slow. They're pitting. Were they finished? Yeah, they're in the pits. Right, pit this lap. Do not repair, new wets, no fuel. Absolutely pit this lap. All of them are in the pits. I know the track is slightly wet. Yeah, so I think last lap was probably the right lap to pit on. New wets, no fuel, do not repair. "13-second pit stop" when it said 12. Second place is coming down to Stavlo now. We should be out in front. This might bring the race down one lap in distance, but it was it was a lot closer to being 43 laps than 41. Right, second place is going through the bus stop. And we're near the pit exit here, so we should be fine. Yeah, I definitely think we lost time by staying out that extra lap, but I had no reason not to. Really. I didn't want to be in a situation where I pit, they don't pit, and not pitting ends up being the right strategy. Of course, do you have to get up to speed on these wets? My setup, definitely a little more geared towards the dry. Starting to see spray. Definitely a sign that pitting was the right decision. My semi setup's favored towards the dry. I mean, we're on wing angle 1, minimum arrow. Of course, not ideal when conditions are slippery and wet. And I've also slightly increased the brake force. Of course, it means more chance of locking. Not too bad in the dry, but in the wet, when you don't have as much grip, just means you gotta be extra cautious on the brakes. Question is, flat out or not through a Rouge? And Radeon, definitely not flat. Certainly not with the confidence I have, and the rear wing that I have. Yeah, I don't think the car behind took it flat either. They are closing really quickly. That's a GT3 without a rear wing. That is scary. Not sure what that P2 is doing exactly. I lost 4 seconds that lap. only have a 4-second gap. Find the limit of the front right tire into the calm. If I pitted 1 lap sooner, I'd have a much better chance at this win. But I didn't. I didn't think it would matter. Front right tire, not happy. Oh, come on. That was such a slow spin. I turned traction control up to try and avoid that, and it still happened. There goes the rear end again. That's rear wing. Yeah, this setup just isn't working on the wet. I think I just have to accept that and take second. That or the way I'm trying to drive in the wet isn't the way I should be trying to drive. Track's already very wet. Yeah, well, yeah, that shows wet tires definitely the way to go. That GT3 was about to turn across my nose. I will say this is the first time I've felt a car just not be super understeery in the wet. Again, just the traction control not being of any real assistance through the bus stop. That's the line. I mean, without the T1 shenanigans, we maybe could still be winning this race. But if we were, you know, there's no guarantees what would have happened in that case. The race could have been very different. Not just by us leading, but in terms of how events played out. And well, it's only going to be a P2 when it potentially could have been a win. I think still need to look at this race positively. Okay, a couple of mistakes. We're end stepping out there. Yeah, I'm definitely not as confident in the wet on LMU as I was on ACC. I remember having a lot of confidence on ACC. And I really said wet weather was a strong point of mine in ACC. On LMU, doesn't seem to be. Final lap of the race then. I said, well, maybe, yeah, we could have won this race. It will still be our second podium of the season. Which, yeah, is a disappointment in a way, with how our pace has been this season. We've definitely, we've had podium potential pace every race. You know, so the real disappointment isn't that, oh, we're getting a podium here. It's that it's only our second podium of the series. So yeah, end of the day, it's still a really good recovery drive. Yeah, we still raced our way up to second place. Oh, come on. Just try and put down any par there is becoming impossible. And that is traction control, by the way, at the max setting. So it's not like, oh, you can turn the GC up. No, it's max setting. And it's still going around. Yeah, the traction control just isn't very effective at that. low speed. Track very wet, not quite getting to extremely wet. But yeah, fun race. Good race, good battles, trying to recover there. Let's see if we can get seeing T1. If I do that. Uh, okay, track's not loaded in wet since it's now wet. So Dave said it was his fault. Maybe it was his fault, given he's 6th at the moment. Yeah. I mean, I can't say too much because I did the same thing. I just get away with it because I'm in the front. Yeah, and then all these LMP2s recovering is, yeah, what causes this. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. I don't know why this BMW is coming across so much. I don't. They have like. They're rejoining the track and just come across. I'd say that might be on the BMW. And then what happens at the top here? Oh, Dave. Oh, a Mercedes loses it. McLaren Mercedes going side by side. They back out. The Mercedes tries back out, loses it, and then we've lost the replay. Yeah, it looks like people just having spins by themselves. Yeah, difficult one that. But the yellow mark killed you. I guess it rolled back onto the track because it has quite a lot of momentum there, and it's gonna go somewhere, and the walls probably bounced it back towards the track. So that's what I assume what happened. The car just went in the final sector in the first lap of the rain. Yeah, that's odd because it, like, okay, rain, you might think that track's damp, but if it's the first lap of the rain, the track was still saturated grip. 70-second repair. Ooh, yeah. I'm assuming a Blanchimont high speed corner, so it's like, yeah, if you meet the wall, it's going to be heavy damage. At least it didn't kill the engine. That's one positive. Being so high speed, yeah, the engine would have been very vulnerable in that situation. Oh, the double right. Hmm. Did you clip the inside curb at all? Because, I mean, I thought I didn't clip the inside curb at Les Mouteux last week, but watching the replay back and playing in slow motion, you can see the wheel react ever so slightly to the curb, even though it looked like it's still just on the outside of it. Was way before the curb. Rear went on entry? Huh? I assume you were coming off the entry curb. And I wonder if that unsettled the car? That's my best guess. Coming off the entry curb and maybe just turning in too aggressively. That would be my best guess at why you've lost the rear end there. Yeah, I might have a look at it. But yeah, I mean, I've been confused completely by this LMP2 car too throughout this season. It has not been a kind car. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there for tonight. That's a bit of a longer one. We're over the 2 hour mark now. But yeah, maybe could have been a win, but ultimately didn't have the pace in the rain. Not too annoyed. I'll take second, especially with being last after T1. Yeah, a bit annoying when it happens, but hey, it leads to exciting races, honestly, when it happens. So I can't complain too much. It's not like, oh, the time I lose there just means I'm stuck at the back of the grid for the whole race and just not ever catching up. You know, at least I have the pace to get myself back in the fight and potentially still have be in a shot of winning the race. Yeah, I can't complain too much. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's stream. I'll be back on Sunday for a little special stream. We're going back to the classic sports car races on Assetto Corsa. We are tackling Spa. Not as we've seen it there today, but of course in its classic state. It's 1966 state, where it was entirely public road. Go up through erosion radion much tighter than it is in the modern track. And then you're on the public road at the forest that isn't straight as the Camel, slightly different road than the Camel. And then at or maybe I don't think it's quite the Camel Straight. Camel. I think they use a different road for the Camel nowadays. Then you turn left when you get to Lake Com, and you've got high speeds, and it's all high speed there until you get back to the source. You can distinctly see where Blanchemont is, and the little kink before it from Stavelo. Make out where the modern bit of the circuit that's sort of end of sector 3 and start of sector 1. But yeah, very fun track. Not one I've ever raced before, so I'm looking forward to racing it. 4-minute lap time. We're in a Ford GT40 Mark 1. So in the higher class for the race, it should be some good fun. That will be starting, I believe, about 6 o'clock. I think it's starting a bit early. Being a long lap, it has a bit longer qualifying session. I think it's 1 hour. I don't know quite how much of the 1 hour of qualifying I am going to stream, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll be back on Sunday. I'll get that up hopefully tomorrow. Scheduled. But yeah, should be hopefully some good fun. Hopefully we have a clean race there. But yeah, looking forward to it. That's gonna be it for today. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Artie, for chatting around. Thank you, Geeky, popping in as well. Thank you, Dave, for turn 1. I'm not that bothered. Don't worry about it. It made for a good race still. So, and as I said, I made the same mistake technically. I just go with it because I was at the front. Well, or technically, I did get punished by that mistake because it put me in prime position to be met for you to meet your front end. But yeah, thank you all very much, and thank you all to those that were lurking throughout and watching the VOD back. Hopefully, I'll see you on Sunday. If not, I'll see you next Monday for the finale, which is at Fuji. No, not Fuji. Imola. Sorry, it'll be at Imola next week for the final round. Looking forward to that. So yeah, Imola should be good fun. I think it'll be a fairly dry race. Back to the 65-minute race too. So yeah, hopefully you can end the season on a high. Yeah, hopefully at least get another podium. Maybe we'll see about trying to get another win. Maybe another pole position could be nice. We were close today. So yeah, looking forward to that. But yeah, thank you all very much. Hopefully you'll have a good week and weekend until hopefully I see you on Sunday, if not Monday. But yeah, until next time, take care. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.